When you need advice, come to Ben and Kelly. It's group therapy on 99.7 DJX.
Dan wrote to us, "Hey, Ben and Kelly, tell me if I'm crazy here.
All right.
My wife and I have what I consider to be a great relationship. I'm not generally an insecure guy. However, she's got this coworker who leaves flowers on her desk from time to time and other gifts. Mm-hmm. It bothers me. I've asked her to tell him to stop bringing her gifts, but she says she won't do it because he lost his wife a year ago and simply wants to shower somebody with kindness, as he used to do with his wife before she passed away."
Oh.
Since my wife won't tell him to stop, should I? Or am I just being an insecure husband?
Mm-hmm.
To be clear, some of the gifts he leaves for her are bottles of wine, of course, of flowers, and most recently, gift cards to various places.
Huh.
What raised a red flag to me more than anything was the last gift, a pair of tickets to see a band they both enjoy. Now, my wife has taken a girlfriend, but I think the guy is trying to win her over. What are your thoughts?
I'm assuming, Dan doesn't say, that this guy is relatively in the same age group as they are. That's what I was assuming as well. I wasn't assuming like this was an older gentleman. Like an older guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, I want to clarify something. I think he asked his wife to tell the dude to stop bringing her gifts, and she was all like,
she doesn't want to do it because
he's just
she
being
knows
kind.
Why. Yes.
Yeah, he's just being kind. So, all right, say if he's just being kind and if you weren't in the picture, what would it be then?
That's a really good question. A lot of people are saying that she does need to stop this. Melanie said it's odd and sad at the same time. Maybe make yourself known at work, just stop by and bring her a coffee or lunch if you can. She should respect your wishes. It does sound like he's attaching himself to her, though.
Yeah, fortunately, I've never been in that guy's situation. And so I don't know the grief and the feelings that I would go through. I don't think, however, that showering some other random coworker with gifts who isn't my, wife,
significant other, anything like that. Yeah.
Right. Is the way, or is the answer to getting over that grief.
Yeah, I don't think that there's anything wrong, and I'm sure this guy would understand, like, hey, I really appreciate you wanting to do this, and I understand where it's coming from, but I have a husband, and, it's kind of awkward, so, we probably need that to stop.
Is anyone thinking about, like, hey, why isn't she, I guess, understanding your feelings?
I don't know. Maybe she likes the free stuff. I don't know.
I don't know. All right.
I mean, she's beneficial. She's going to a show.
Let us know if you've been in this situation and how you handled it. All right. Dan's situation is not necessarily unique, but I think if you could share maybe how you handled the situation, it might help Dan kind of navigate this.
Brandon said, why couldn't he find someone who's single to spoil? Well, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's something she can say.
502-795-1997. We'll take your calls and more comments. Group therapy next. Group therapy. Dan had written us, and he's not an insecure guy, he says. His wife, though, has a coworker who leaves flowers on her desk from time to time, other gifts like wine, concert tickets. Now, he's asked her to tell him to stop bringing her gifts. She says, I don't know if I can do that because, you see, he lost his wife a year ago and simply just wants to shower somebody with kindness.
And you know what? I feel like it does feel like he's hitting on her, but at the same time, I don't know how people process grief in different ways, and maybe this is something he did for his wife all the time, and he just wants to try to feel connected to her by continuing that tradition with somebody else. Mm-hmm. Even though, it could be completely innocent, or it could be, he's trying to move on and he's just picked the wrong unavailable person to do that. either way, I think she does need to kind of step up and just say, hey, I so appreciate this and where it's coming from. But, I have a husband, and I feel like maybe you can, maybe if you're ready, you can put yourself out there and try to find someone to date who would appreciate these gestures.
Yeah, Tara's like, yeah, I'd say he's pushing it. If a man from work was showering me with gifts and I have a husband at home, I could accept any of the gifts. That would make me uncomfortable. Doing little stuff every once in a while as a friend maybe isn't bad, but I'd say old buddy is getting lonely. She should stop it for her own marriage's sake. I don't think he's overreacting at all.
Yeah, I mean, if he's lonely and he's ready to, he should put himself out there in the dating pool. And, these kinds of gestures and gifts should be reserved for someone that he's trying to pursue to date.
Stephanie.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember, but I told you guys I got out of a 3-year engagement. And the whole time I was asking for my partner to change what she was doing because of my feelings or how it would make me feel.
Uh-huh.
She would never do it. And then 3 years later, I found out it was because she was too lazy to care.
Oh.
So, and that's what I mean for people to do what they want, because if that person really respected his feelings, she would stop what's going on because that's your partner. That's who you want to spend your time with.
All right.
Yeah, and if it bothers him, then you need to pay more attention to that.
Absolutely, and it's just respect, and I feel like, I don't know what's wrong with the world today, but we've definitely lost that.
Yeah, and by the way, thank you, Stephanie. If the shoe were on the other foot, if it were a wife that was messaging us and saying, oh, hey, there's another woman, giving gifts to my husband, like everybody would be like, what?
Oh, shut that down.
Shut it down.
Right.
And I'm not saying that everybody's not doing that right now, but I think if shoes on the other foot, yeah, I mean, it's inappropriate there too. I do like Jessica's comment on Facebook. She says, well, start giving her better gifts, Dan.
Step up your game. Out-gift the gift giver.
Yeah, like, how was I supposed to know she wanted to go to that concert? Well, Dan, you're the husband. You're supposed to know that sort of thing.
Yeah, you know what? I think we all agree. We're on the same page here that it's inappropriate and should probably stop.
Yep.
And she needs to be the one to kind of bring it up to her coworker. Like, I really appreciate it. It's very kind. I understand where it's coming from, but it can't continue. I am not available. It's making my husband uncomfortable.
Right.
I'm sure you understand.
All right. Well, hey, good luck with that, Dan. You're not crazy, and hopefully your wife gets the picture soon. So, all right, that is group therapy.